are the Cowboys still in the worst division in the sport, the NFC East? Because for the last couple of years, it's kind of been a no-brainer of what's been the worst NFL division. And so I saw this on CBS Sports as well in regards to basically power ranking. And there's still time in the offseason for things to change a little bit. But the main portion of free agency is over. All the big quarterback moves are pretty much in the books now. And so you have a decent picture of how talented each team is, how talented each division is. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that has been frustrating for Cowboys fans. All of us is like, man, you'd think this would be a great time to go all in with this Cowboys team because they were so good last year from a regular season record standpoint. You've got the franchise quarterback, and you've proved it with the contract that you've given him. Okay, well then let's build around him. Let's invest more talent. Let's not take talent away from this team. You're in a very, very easy division. Even
and an easy conference.
And then, yes, exactly, the NFC
is watered down. It's like take advantage of the opportunity. What does it take? It's not like you're in the AFC West or the AFC period.
So there's 8 divisions, obviously, in the NFL right now, and CBS Sports has the NFC South. How lucky is freaking Brady, man?
That's probably why he came out of retirement.
Every time.
He said, it's too damn easy.
If Brady's in the division itself is garbage, except for Brady's team. It was the AFC East for all those years where the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills were just NFL sewage. And then there it is, the king of the sport. It's Brady and Belichick and the Patriots. Well, now the NFC South it's falling apart at the seams a little bit because you have the Falcons, bye-bye Matt Ryan, really just a terrible roster in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. You have the Saints losing Sean Payton and Drew Brees now in back-to-back years. Mm-hmm. They're kind of in flux a little bit.
We don't know if Jameis is going to stay healthy and if he's going to reduce his picks. That's how you don't know who your quarterback is.
And then the Panthers are one of the worst teams in the sport. They don't have a quarterback.
Nope.
So Brady and the Bucs, that is a foregone conclusion. The biggest guarantee in all of the NFL is that the Buccaneers with Brady are going to win that NFC South division. So that's who CBS Sports says is the worst division in the sport, and I can't say I disagree. Then you have the NFC North. Okay, so the 2 worst divisions in the NFL, NFC South and now the NFC North. 2 NFC divisions. Not yet the NFC East. The NFC North, you got Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, of course.
That's about it.
But then after that, it's Minnesota. The Vikings, okay.
Well, their defense is depleted now.
Yeah, new head coach coming from the Rams. We'll see what's going on. There's definitely some talent on that offense. But you always kind of know the Vikings, solid team, maybe 9 wins, you know?
Yeah, and Kirk Cousins is not going to win after 3 p.m. We already know this.
Yes, yeah. Primetime Kirk is not a good recipe for Vikings fans. And then the Bears and the Lions, pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Then you get to the NFC East, according to CBS Sports. So, I mean, that is the worst 3 divisions in the NFL are all NFC teams that are NFC divisions. That just goes to show you how bad the NFC is in general. And we know how bad the NFC East is. It's Washington, okay. They have a halfway decent roster. They get Carson Wentz. No one's scared of you. The Giants still with Daniel Jones. They've had a great offseason in terms of their coaching staff and things that they've put in place for the future.
Yeah,
but
this year is not the future.
This year is not going to be that year unless somehow Brian Daboll can resurrect Daniel Jones from being a really, really bad quarterback and that whole Giants offense being just terrible and not scoring much points at all. And then Philadelphia, hey, kudos to them, man. They did a respectable job last year. You make the playoffs with Nick Sirianni in his first year as a head coach and Jalen Hurts as your starting quarterback. They go get Hassan Reddick to bolster up that pass rush a little bit this offseason. But still, the Eagles, at best, you're looking at one of, kind of an average team.
Yeah, I don't think they beat a team with a winning record last year.
So then it's the AFC South. Finally, an AFC division comes in at number 5, where you have the Titans, the Jaguars, you got the Texans, and you've got the Colts. And the Colts could be fun. The
Colts could be fun, and they might be the surprise team of the AFC. In other words, you know what to expect out of Cleveland and Cincinnati and the AFC West, and you know about Baltimore. But, man, don't sleep on the Colts.
Yep. Then it's the AFC East coming in at number 4 as you power rank the NFC or the NFL divisions. The NFC West out there, that one's That one's gotten watered down a little bit, though. That was the division. The NFC West for a while was like, man, Seattle's pretty strong. The Rams are strong. Arizona with Kyler strong. And then San Francisco. It's like, man, that one. And so now that is
they just beat each other up.
Yeah, that's the third best division. Then it's the AFC North with Cincinnati, the reigning AFC champion. You have Baltimore with Lamar Jackson. They had a litany of injuries last year. They're going to come back healthier. John Harbaugh, it's a great organization. They're going to be back rocking and rolling next year. Cleveland with Deshaun Watson now, super talented roster.
They're already loaded, man.
And then the Steelers, I mean, say what you want about them, but they're always at least 500.
Yeah, in fact, Mike Tomlin has never had a record below 500.
Exactly.
Ever.
And then, of course, it's the vaunted AFC West. That is probably the single best division in NFL history. At least on paper as it looks right now.
Just loaded.
Just ridiculous, man. I cannot wait to watch some of those matchups. I mean, basically every week you're going to get Mahomes versus Herbert or Mahomes versus Wilson or Wilson versus Herbert or Carr versus Mahomes. It's just that division. There's going to be a lot of primetime AFC West divisional games matching up. Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night. That one is going to be extremely fun. So how about that? Cowboys no longer in the worst division in the NFL, certainly in the worst conference in the NFC, but the NFC South and the NFC North, allegedly, at this point, respectfully.
Yes, Lucius.
Worse than
allegedly
worse than the Cowboys NFC East division.